Hi, I'm 718TV. You might better know me as Stained Haynes. Or hey you, stop stealing my newspaper, god damn it! Today, I'm here to compete in the domain of forbidden takes. Women's self-defense should be done away with. At its best, it is an empowerment fantasy. At its worst, it leaves women woefully unprepared for scenarios in where they can be injured, harmed grievously, or much worse. Now, before you begin typing your reply brimming with righteous indignation and accusing me of being an ist who harbors an ism and possibly even a phobia, consider these realities. Every fight can be your last. We are reminded of this on the daily with headlines, footage uploaded onto LiveLeak, 4chan, and even YouTube. You don't have to look very far for this. Also, statistically and historically speaking, the number one cause of maiming and death and everything else in between to women are men. We must also consider that on average, men are larger and stronger than women. So where does that leave women's self-defense? Well, it leaves you with gimmicks that people often gamble with their lives over, such as keys between the knuckles and kicks to the groin. Unless you've been practicing for hours on end every week, it's pointless. All that stuff goes out the window when you enter brain crisis wrestling mode. The only things that bubble up to the surface during your hour of adrenaline-fueled need is muscle memory. Things you've drilled on, and things you've had to learn the hard way. So for the most part, that covers the bad news. We're going to be going over the good news now, so you just sit tight, alright? Do women learn women's self-defense so they can fight other women? No. They learn it so they can prevent getting raped, beaten, stabbed, shot, stuffed into the trunk of an 85 Camry, and then getting pushed into the river weeks before they're finally found by state troopers. So this means there's an even greater need for strength, agility, coordination, endurance, and flexibility. In the absence of the Second Amendment, a sharpened screwdriver, a taser, or mace, where does that leave us? Self-defense. Now, the fundamentals of this can be found in some martial arts, but we must take a step back to see the forest for the trees. Take Muay Thai, for example. Very useful in turning your opponent's face into ground beef, but offers little, if anything, to utilize if and when the fight goes to the ground. That's what makes something like Krav Maga really shine, for it encompasses all three phases of a fight: stand-up, grappling, and the ground. Grappling is serious business. You watch hood knockout videos long enough or other such vulgar displays of power, and you're going to see makeshift power bombs and suplexes that find people just before they become victims with no recourse. Grappling and groundwork is also where Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Judo excel at. It isn't all just practicing hip throws with some sweaty guy in a gi. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Judo teach you how to take a fall. It teaches you to utilize all four limbs in your entire body in pinning your opponent, dislocating something, pulling something out of a socket, suffocating them, or choking them out. Even pinning them can be incredibly useful, forcing your opponent to exert themselves tremendously so they can be in a better position to continue the fight. Grapples, chokeholds, and even joint locks can be applied from various directions and positions, even when you're on your back. So with all this in mind, yeah, there are options and there is good news. But you want to see results. So results we're going to watch.